Yup, I'm back to rambling about the spear again. Its unique abilities make it the perfect meta weapon in Build 41 Project Zomboid. That's right, the spear is the weapon of a man in his most desperate hour. The weapon you pull out of your bag in the middle of the night after you've crashed your car. Because the spear is a golden beam of light shining on your path to victory. Its descent from heaven akin to Valkyries. Alright, I'll buy your sale. It's a perfect weapon. How do I build for it? Spears and long blades are special weapon skills in the game because you cannot directly invest into them. This means they level slowly. But in the case of the spear, this is a huge bonus in my opinion. Despite the inability to invest in it, spears turn into the best weapon in the game. Being forced to spend your trait points elsewhere is the chef's kiss. Everyone benefits equally from spears due to this. Where is the perfect place to spend those unused trait points? In your maintenance skill, specifically the handy trait, as leveling your maintenance skill quickly will make your crafted spears last longer. You also want that carpentry bonus, as you need level 3 carpentry or more to always make full durability spears. Next on the list is Fast Learner, as that 30% increased experience gain is the best you can do for leveling your spear skill, and is a bonus to everything else you do. Also, if we're talking about meta builds, everyone should either take a profession that starts with Nimble, or the Gymnast trait, as Nimble is the single most important melee combat skill in my opinion. Turns out, if the zombies can't catch you, then your poor damage doesn't matter. I've got the perfect spear build. How do I arm myself? Lucky for you, spears are the easiest weapon to craft. You can make them via planks and branches, with a knife or sharp stone. Sharp stones can be found while foraging. Stone debris and cracks in the road have the highest chance to spawn stones, but beware, stone debris does not spawn in Build 41 multiplayer, so you'll be forced to search on roads unless you like playing the worst RNG game. Knives on the other hand are a little rare in the beginning, but as the days pass you will find more and more knives in zombies to the point they are essentially infinite. Branches can be foraged, but it's easier and faster to disassemble furniture for planks or cut down trees to saw planks. Now that you have both a knife and a plank, you can make spears. Why are crafted spears good? If you take a look at the weapons page in the wiki, you'll notice that crafted spears have the trifecta of good stats. They don't weigh much, which makes them stamina efficient. They have a decent crit rate and crit multiplier, guaranteeing you will consistently kill zombies with crits early on. Mind, the crit multiplier is pointless with spears. More on that later. Their base damage is above average, and lastly, they have the fastest attack speed by default. That's right, it's not a trifecta. They have 4 extreme advantages over other weapons. The downside to all of this being their low durability. Crafted spears break incredibly fast when your skill levels are low. Once you do make it to around level 6 spear skill and even higher maintenance, you may only be able to swing that spear 50 to 70 times before it breaks, but that'll be 50 dead zombies. For a weapon you can quickly make 9 or more of per tree. Oh, and you will have killed those zombies in record time compared to all other weapons, aside from an axe wielded by a lumberjack. There is actually one spear better than the crafted spear, the garden fork, which is frequently referred to as the god fork by those who know, and for good reason. It has all the benefits of the spear while weighing the least and having good durability. It also has a better minimum range compared to other spears. This will be the weapon you want to gather for initially leveling your spear skill. What about the rest of the spears? They kinda suck due to their weight. This doesn't mean you can't use them, just that you will very quickly tire out. I've heard there is an ability to one-shot zombies. This is the godlike ability that takes spears from being a great weapon to a completely broken weapon. Without it, axes wielded by a lumberjack would be a tie due to the similar attack speed and damage. You may have noticed a chance to do this head stabbing animation that kills zombies. There's one way you can force this to happen. Sprinting with the spear in your hands long enough causes a new animation that will do the stab upon colliding with a zombie. I don't think this ability is all that useful due to the massive stamina waste that is sprinting. The real advantage comes from the attachment of the one-shot mechanic to critical hits. When a single zombie is walking towards you, the spear gains an additional 30% crit chance. This means you have a 60% chance to one-shot an individual zombie. By the time you reach level 10 spear, you will have a 90% chance to one-shot a single zombie. This does not apply when multiple zombies are near each other. When more than one zombie are close enough to each other as you attack, it will not play the stabbing animation, but it still has a chance to one-shot zombies due to the one-shot mechanic being tied to critting with a spear. A 30% chance to kill a zombie per swing is very good, and it only gets better as you level the skill. The issue with the one-shot mechanic being a zombie in front of you and behind you are not close enough to trigger the animation protection. Be very careful about flanking zombies, as attacking them with a spear could spell your animation lock doom. Now I'm going to have to teach you a bit about the stamina system in the game. The amount of stamina you use when you swing your weapon depends on the weight of your weapon. If you miss, this is a constant amount, but if you do damage to a zombie, the amount used is variable. The lower the amount of damage you do, the less stamina it uses. There is also a refund mechanic that makes you use less stamina on a blow that overkills a zombie. Since spears do great damage, you tend to spend significantly less stamina fighting zombies than with other comparable weight weapons, but it gets better. In fact, it goes full on exploit if you paid attention in class a minute ago. There are many situations in which the player becomes so debuffed they do almost no damage, going too long without sleep, becoming heavily injured, panic, stress, or generally not taking care of your character's needs. I like to call those who do it Moodle collectors. This typically ends a run of many players, but if you come prepared, it is the perfect time to use a spear. Near zero damage means minimal stamina usage. Yet the spear still has a chance to one-shot zombies due to the one-shot mechanic being tied to critting. So here you have the fastest swinging weapon by default. You can swing it as many times as you want as long as you hit a target, and it has a decent chance to one-shot said target no matter the amount of damage you do. You suddenly go from the brink of death to being able to fight a near infinite number of zombies with one caveat. Your swing speed needs to be high or it'll take forever. Good thing spears start with a higher than normal attack speed. This isn't perfect. You will eventually run out of stamina even if you are barely using any per swing. And since you are likely tired, it will not regenerate at a useful rate. This is a disastrous scenario tactic that you can abuse if you know what you are doing, not something you should try to rely on. I'm sure there will be the ever-present commenter claiming this is too risky, when it's far riskier to not have the choice between running and defending yourself. Running often carries the risk of acquiring additional hungry pursuers. What about that crit multiplier? If you crit with a spear, the zombie dies. This is best shown by the difference in how a zombie dies when you do full damage versus almost no damage. With full damage, the zombie spurts blood from the hit and it dies. When you're not doing enough damage to one-shot the zombie via a crit, the zombie spurts blood from the hit, falls down, and then spurts blood again when the one-shot mechanic kills them. No, most other weapons will knock a zombie down on a crit. The one-shot mechanic does not apply to grounded zombies. This is somewhat of an issue. But grounded zombies always take extra damage via multiplier, which makes up for it in all but the worst situations. Doesn't this mean spears are terrible until you spend a lot of time leveling them? Yes and no. Like all the weapon types in the game, the more you invest into them, the better they become. Spears are not as good as axes in the sense that you have a very clear path of options to one-shot zombies as you level up the skill. Instead, with spears you get the killing power from the beginning, but have to focus on durability. Using a crowbar to level your maintenance skill before switching over to a collection of garden forks is the optimal route to train your spear and maintenance skills until crafted spears reach a point that they are valuable to you. It's a foreign idea compared to leveling up other weapons. Since you can make crafted spears so easily, it's really a question of your own willingness to deal with tedium. If it's high, you can immediately start mass producing crafted spears to use. If it's lower, you will want to stall that stage as long as possible, even repairing garden forks with wood glue. The other spears are viable as weapons due to their higher durability, as long as you realize you will need to sit and rest frequently. There's a bit of a silver lining, since the first exhaustion Moodle will not reduce your kill speed anywhere near as much as with other weapons. Being the best weapon for clearing zombies does not mean it's the best weapon for you. This is of course only relevant for Build 41, as Build 42 is introducing new crafting and durability systems that might change everything. Lastly, let's talk about that attack speed. I'm not sure if it's actually swinging faster than the other weapons. If you really pay attention to the animations, you'll note the spear has significantly less delay after its swing before it can do another. There is evidence of this happening with the pistol whip animation redo. When it first came out, I quickly released a video pointing out it was significantly faster to pistol whip than to do a normal push. It was immediately fixed, and the resulting patch notes points out that the difference was due to the swing delay. Is this true for the spear? I don't know. No point in checking the code for it when the outcome is what matters to the normal player. Spears have a higher attack speed. It doesn't matter why unless you are looking for related exploits. If you made it to this point in the video, you are awesome. Bye.